Welcome to Healthy Frontiers. My name is Dr. Bizzoni. I'm a chiropractor, and this show is dedicated to the education of our viewers. The topic for tonight is sports injury prevention. My special guest is Joe Carabello. Joe's president and CEO of CPR Strategic Marketing Communications, and for the past 30 years has been involved in a broad range of developmental and operational activities relating to healthcare marketing and marketing communications. Mr. Carabello has extensive experience in the international healthcare industry. He has served on the board of numerous companies, including international medical travel networks, managed care organizations, and public service organizations. An experienced strategic planner, he was responsible for the startup and marketing programs of several HMOs, including Oxford Health Plans and Healthcare Plan of New Jersey. So I want to welcome Joe to the show.
Thank you very much. My pleasure to be here.
Oh, it's a pleasure to have you, Joe. Joe, we're going to talk about sports injury prevention tonight, and so let's get right into it. So what is the foundation for chiropractic progress?
Okay, well, the foundation for chiropractic progress is not an easy one to say.
No, it's not.
Has been around now for going on 12 years, and it's a foundation. It's a not-for-profit organization. It's now the largest chiropractic organization in the country. We have over 20,000 participants in the foundation, and the sole purpose and goal of the foundation is positive press for chiropractic.
Got it.
And that's where I come in.
Got it. Okay, so how do you become involved in this foundation?
Well, I've had a PR firm and a marketing firm, as you had mentioned, for the past 32 years. My wife is my business partner.
Got it.
And we haven't had a fight yet.
Okay, that's great.
Maybe one.
Yeah, maybe one.
But over these years, we've always taken on some pro bono clients and some organizations, foundations that we've worked with who we know needed some help.
Right.
Through my chiropractor, I was introduced to a group of people who were starting this foundation. They were limping along, having a little bit of a tough time getting going.
Right.
And we had just finished working with a foundation, Sturge Weber Foundation, if you're familiar. And we liked these guys. They were very enthusiastic and very committed to their profession, and they needed help.
Right.
So we said, yeah, we'll give it a chance. We don't know a lot about chiropractic, but we'll give it a chance.
Right.
And we gave it a try, and here we are 11, 12 years later, and we're still working with them.
Wow, great. Well, I see it all over, so it's wonderful.
Thank you.
So what is the Athletic Tips Program?
Okay. So as a means of providing education to the public, we came up with a program called Athletic Tips.
Yes.
TIPS stands for Towards Injury Prevention in Sports, TIPS. And the whole idea, TIPS is a not-for-profit organization. It's a product of the foundation. And its goal is to educate doctors, parents, coaches, trainers, educators about the injuries that occur in sports and how to prevent those injuries and how to treat them when they do occur.
Right.
And that is the sole purpose of TIPS. We provide a broad range of educational materials that can be downloaded from our website, which is TIPS, TIPS, the number 4, sports, SPORTS.org.
Yep.
And that whole idea is for us to give that education so that kids can be safer on the playing fields.
Right, which there's so much focus on now. So what is the focus of the TIPS program? I've read certain things about, prevention of concussion, and where are we?
Okay, so there's 4 pillars.
Yes.
Okay, one is preventing dehydration.
Right.
We know that's a big, big problem. A lot of these kids don't bring water to the games. A lot of the coaches don't provide enough water for them. These kids need to be hydrated.
Right.
We're talking about kids from Pee-wee all the way through college.
Yes.
Anybody who's an amateur, and it doesn't have to be kids.
Right.
It could be anybody in your neighbor or you who who likes to run the trails or ride your bike or whatever.
Right.
Athletes, we treat and focus on everybody: boys, girls, men, women. Amateur athletes.
Right.
Okay.
Dehydration, heat prostration, that kind of thing.
Major problem.
Right.
Okay. So that's one pillar. Another is musculoskeletal injuries. Recognizing, helping to prevent, treat if necessary. So there's a lot of that goes on the playing field. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's 2.
Okay.
And the third is proper nutrition.
Right.
These kids, are they eating properly? Should they be having a meal before the game or before practice? Should they eat after practice? Should they be drinking a nutritional drink, or should they have water?
Yeah,
So
a lot of things people you think you know it all, but you don't.
But you don't.
Yeah,
but you
right.
don't.
Right.
And the fourth, of course, is the big one that we hear so much about is concussion.
Right.
And this is talking about avoidance and treatment, recognizing and making sure that we're doing something about the concussion, which is a huge, huge problem today.
Right, right. How to recognize it, what the coaches can look for, what parents can look for. Maybe the kid comes home, I was fine on the field, comes home, hey ma, I feel a little funny.
That's exactly what we're talking about.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about concussion awareness and prevention. Let's go into that a little, Joe.
Well, very important. As you probably are aware, there's 44 million children today playing sports and athletics in the United States.
Okay.
44 million.
That's a ton.
Of that, it's estimated that 1.9 million of those kids are going to suffer concussion.
Wow.
In this year.
Huge.
Okay.
In 1 year.
In 1 year. 50% of children between the ages of 8 and 13 who show up in the emergency room, typically it's because of a concussion. Okay. So concussions could occur in many, many ways.
Sure.
A blow on the head, a blow on the face, a blow on the neck. It could be a body blow.
Yeah.
Kid gets slammed to the ground.
Hits his head, boom.
Hits his head.
Right.
Sometimes he doesn't have to hit his head. He gets a big jolt of his body.
Yeah.
Can cause a concussion.
Yeah.
So, that's a big issue. Now, coaches of these youth programs are guys like me and maybe you. Now, I've coached my son's basketball teams and soccer teams. I didn't have any training. I didn't know anything about recognizing concussion. I didn't know. I was a high school
parent.
Exactly. I was a parent. I was a high school athlete.
Yeah.
I think I had a couple, thinking back. I probably had a concussion or two over the years. But as a coach, I had no formalized training as to what I should be doing. So I know the CDC puts out a program now with a not beautiful brochure that we make available that gives you the signs of concussion. So it's very important that we are educating the parents, the coaches, the trainers, the educators, anybody who's involved in youth sports should be aware of these issues of concussion.
Right.
Okay. So if the kid's a little bit woozy, if the memory is a problem, if they don't just seem right, if they, sometimes we see it on TV, these professional athletes, they get up on one knee and then they stand a little woozy and they stay in the game.
Yeah.
And they say that 70% of high school athletes will not tell the coach that they have a concussion.
I can believe that. Macho, they don't want to come out of the game.
They don't want to come out of the game.
Help their teammates.
Exactly right. They want to stay in the game and they want to continue to play. So it's a very important thing.
Yeah.
So we have to be very aware of that. So with boys, football's number 1,
Yep.
lacrosse number 2, hockey number 3.
Right.
With the girls, soccer is number 1.
Okay.
And everybody says, well, maybe my daughter will be a cheerleader and we won't have to worry so much. Number 2.
Number 2.
And the reason is that nowadays they do tumbling and they build these pyramids and they drop kids. And these girls hit their heads and wind up in the hospital if somebody recognizes that they have a concussion. So it's a serious, serious issue.
Sure, and even just going back to the soccer, I mean, a lot of people think it's a non-contact sport to some degree, but how about heading the ball and all these kinds of things?
It's another interesting fact is that girls, more than boys, run with their elbows out. And if they're jumping or running around, it's very easy to hit somebody in the head with an elbow.
Got it. Interesting. Okay, so how does the community get involved?
Okay, so this is the focus of TIPS. This is what we are all about.
Right.
We have our website, as I said, and we make all information available on that website.
Right.
Part of that is we offer tips, and those tips are submitted by members of our advisory board. Now, our advisory board is made up of MDs, chiropractors, nutritionists, physical therapists, trainers, professional athletes, former professional athletes, and sports psychologists, anybody who's involved in sports health, we have on our advisory board.
Sure.
And those people submit to us tips. Okay, so somebody has kid comes home with a little limp and his leg is hurting, his mother looks, his ankle is swollen. Most parents don't know you put ice or you put heat.
Right.
The most basic thing, right? As
That's
a doctor,
right.
you know the most basic thing. So they can go to our website, and they could go to find ankle, twisted, and there's right there tips.
Oh,
we'll
that's great.
explain to you what happens.
Sure.
Okay, more importantly than that, on the website as well, you can request a community seminar. And we will have a doctor be in touch with you and arrange for a community seminar. Could be with your athletic department of your school, it could be with your football coach, it could be with the town sports organization, it could be the Little League, whatever it is, we will be able to send somebody to your community. And if we don't have somebody registered right now, we'll find somebody and get them to your community so that you will be able to have a seminar put on.
That's fabulous.
And focus on one or more of these 4 pillars that I spoke about.
Yeah.
Now, they each take about 45 minutes to talk about when we condense them. So, you know, it depends on how much time we have. And usually, these things work out very, very well because you have a school, they provide us a gymnasium,
Right.
which is not going to cost us anything for the
Right.
most part.
Right.
We have some wonderful sponsors that work with us that will provide us with water and healthy snacks. We get bananas and apples and maybe sometimes power bars and those kind of things.
Yes.
So we have a reason, you know, for these people to come. We put on the seminar, and
Right.
and they're very, very well attended and very, very informative.
Okay. And also no charge?
No charge.
Perfect.
No charge.
Good. So how does the individual doctor benefit from becoming involved in TIPS? If any doctor wanted to get involved in this for their community.
Okay, again, the same way they can go to the website and identify themselves and ask for more information. What we do is we put on seminars around the country,
Right.
and we try to make make it a grassroots effort so that we have doctors in every major city and continue to grow this. And so we will try to build these around some conferences that may be going on in different cities.
Sure.
Okay, and we will then advertise or market to those groups of doctors that we will be putting on a seminar.
Right.
It's usually an 8-hour seminar. We go through the 4 pillars.
Yep.
We have experts in all of those areas speak about what's going to be presented.
Yes.
And we do a little test afterwards.
Right.
We get their licenses. We get all of their personal information. We get their curriculum vitae. And we put this program together, and that person becomes a participating doctor in
Right.
TIPS.
Great.
That person can then, once they're certified, we give them a playbook. Okay?
Sure.
And that playbook covers everything that they need to know. It has the 4 pillars, has all the slides, everything they need for a presentation in that playbook. And it goes into how to market yourself, how that doctor could then go into the community, and we tell them who to contact.
Right.
You know, where do you go to get the superintendent of schools? How do you call the football coach at the high school? We
Right.
give them all that information.
Right.
We tell them what to wear, okay,
Sure.
so that they're presentable and go there looking like a doctor of sports medicine, sports health care.
Yes.
So that's very important. So once they have that, they can go into the community.
Right.
But we ask them to take it one step further. We like to train the trainer.
Right.
Okay, so we ask those doctors to spread the word in their community, and there may be others in the community, like you may be a trained TIPS doctor, and then you
Yes.
could train some of your associates with the same type of program. We have an online training program.
Good.
So that could be broken down into 4 parts so that a doctor does it 2 hours at a time and
Great.
becomes a TIPS certified doctor.
I love it. I love the way, the community is going to really benefit from all of this. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's great. So, Joe, how are TIPS supporting the national effort to reduce the number of opioid-related deaths, which is so huge now? It's all over the news. Let's talk about it.
Right. So that's a huge, huge problem that we have.
Right.
And so TIPS, again, as a program of the foundation, we are very focused on this opioid abuse problem. Now, we have met with the NFL, we've met with the National Hockey League, we've met with the National Basketball Association. We have done presentations to the American Youth Soccer Organization. We've spoke to their coaches. We've been to their summer camps. On and on and on. We've been to many of these different youth camps and organizations. And one of the things that we're now talking about is this opioid problem.
Right.
You know, we're looking, you know, you look at what's going on in the NFL. A recent study that was done, they studied 111 brains. 110 of those brains had traumatic brain injuries.
Huge.
It's huge. It's huge.
Yeah.
And, you know, so they're working on designing new helmets and trying to break, you know, down where the kids could hit and whatnot, but they're still involved in all of this.
Right.
So again, it's partnered with the Foundation for Chiropractic Progress. The foundation has been able to designate this month, and the American Hospital Association's official healthcare calendar has designated September
Yes.
as Drug-Free Pain Management Awareness Month, which is a magnificent thing.
Oh,
This is
fabulous.
a national program.
Yep.
And so the foundation has been putting together this program, building up to this month of September. And this month there are ads being placed in the Wall Street Journal and USA Today, several of the regional newspapers.
Right.
There are public service announcements that are going out. We have states all over the country participating in this program and doing their own advertising locally and putting local television like this, making it aware, people aware that there's an alternative. There's an alternative to drugs and opioids. There's an alternative.
Right, right. And, you know, we can go on and on with that one, but let's tell us more about the Foundation's recent media campaign to save lives, stop the abuse of opioids, and choose chiropractic.
Okay. So that's exactly what we're doing. So we were able to get this month of September designated, and we have focused on putting together programs. We're having billboard campaigns that will be running through the end of this year, saying, save lives, stop opioid abuse, choose chiropractic.
Yeah.
Okay, because it's been demonstrated, and we have studies that demonstrate this and prove this. Not only done in
one of these studies,
one of these studies, exactly right. Not only done by the chiropractic profession, but done by the medical profession, demonstrating that the use of chiropractic manipulation, as they call it in all the publications nowadays, and you read about it in the New York Times and wherever, that is an alternative to going in to a practitioner who's going to write a prescription for 30 oxycodone or whatever it is, and that person's going to become addicted. So we want to get away from that. We want to make sure that people know that there's an alternative. It doesn't have to be, you know, aromatherapy, acupuncture, physical therapy, osteopathic, chiropractic. But chiropractic is a bona fide alternative, and we have proof to that. Show that.
Yes. Okay. Great. Good. So how's the foundation promoting chiropractic care as a drug-free pain management option for consumers?
Okay, so as I said, you know, we have these ads running, we have billboards that are going to be going up, we have radio, TV, PSAs, and we have every week of this month, or just about every day, there's some kind of a special program. And again, the people could go onto the foundation website, and it's f4cp.org. And all that information is available, and educational programs. You know, you referred to that white paper that you just held up. We have those available to the public. Anybody wants information, it's available through the foundation. Free of charge.
Perfect. So how can doctors get involved this September and all the Septembers moving forward?
Same thing. You know, they get a hold of us through our foundation website. Okay. And f4cp.org.
Okay.
Want to get sure of that. And we have all that information available to them. But they could get all of this information off the website, download it, get it in their offices. They can do educational videos. They'll have information on the billboards we were running. They can see the ads. They can get posters. There's all kind of information that's available.
Great. So how do doctors benefit from membership with the foundation? There are doctors that get involved and really want to help their community.
You know, as I said, we have over 20,000 members now. And that's pretty big.
In 10 years? 10, 11 years?
Yeah, it's spectacular. So we're extremely proud of that. Those doctors who pay a monthly membership, it's not even a membership, it's just a token that they give to the foundation to keep us being able to provide positive press for chiropractic.
Got it.
Okay. So may I just refer to this, because I don't want to leave anything out.
Please do. Go right ahead.
So benefits to the doctor include educational videos. They will get access to school databases. They get a chat line with tips experts.
Right.
They can be doing the tip seminars. There's various programs. We provide toolkits for the doctors to use in their offices. They can market their practices locally. And we give them all kinds of guidelines on how to market. We give them posters. We give them public service announcements. We give them ads. They can download everything that we provide to them. They put their own name and address on that, submit it to the local newspaper, TV station. I'm sure the station here would love to run some chiropractic public service announcements. Now we're talking about preventing concussion. We're talking about helping kids, getting off of opioids, all of those wonderful things that people really need to know.
Yeah, I mean, it's such an important topic. I mean, especially
Absolutely.
the opioids. I mean, if you could prevent one kid or one person from getting involved in too much drug taking for pain, just on a simple note, I mean, you've won tremendously.
Exactly. We could talk all day long about opioid, and just the other day, another former NFL player shot himself in the chest.
Right.
His brain, right now, as we're talking, has been transported to Boston University to study.
Right.
And one of the biggest problems that the sports leagues, not only NFL, I don't want to focus on the NFL, but all the sports leagues have these injury problems. And what do? I mean, this is big dollars. What do? They give them drugs, opioids. They get them back on the field.
Right.
And the athletes want it. They want to get back on the field. It's not until it's too late that they realize.
And that's where the education comes into play.
Exactly right.
That's why they can make an educated decision, at least.
Exactly. That's why we start with the youth. And we work our way up, and these kids get older and older. They'll start to realize
that there may be alternatives.
Exactly right.
And I agree 100%.
There's a lot of opportunities here. To help with a major problem. Any major problem you solve with building blocks. Right. You start small, and you build up a pyramid, and that's what we're doing. We're about here.
And I think you and TIPS and the Foundation for Chiropractic Progression is doing fabulous. So thank you very much for imparting all your great wisdom.
Well, thank you. My
Joe,
pleasure.
thanks for being on the
show.
Me.
I really appreciate being here.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for such a great viewership, and we would look forward to seeing you on the next show. Thank you.